Should I start this part? All right, this is an image of an alchemist in his laboratory. As you know, the alchemists were fond of turning dross into gold, and I think that's what we're about, but I think this is true of any artistic endeavor, is artists who are working often feel like they're in the receipt of a call, that something moves them to do something, they don't know why. And I don't know why we got started on this thing, but it's been 10 years, and the gold that has resulted from collecting this dross has given us a life together, because we had our first date at this beach. I would call that gold. Beside that, and in addition, we're making our living at this suddenly. Just in this last year, we're starting to make a living doing this. So. Yeah, so this is alchemy.
How do I change the, just right there?
Welcome to Kehoe Beach. It is, in fact, I could appreciate Robert's comment about his wedding honeymoon photographs. And we hope today to entice you with a very beautiful place, Kehoe Beach, which was, in fact, the site of our first date some 10 years ago. We had no idea what would unfold from that unlikely meeting at that beach, but as Richard says, a whole life has unfolded.
So there's the beach. It's beautiful. It's the start of 10 Mile Beach in the Point Reyes seashore, and as the introduction said, I would say 99% of the plastic you're going to see has been collected from this place.
All of the plastic that you see, or 90%, comes from this beach. And we have devoted ourselves to it just to be able to highlight what happens when two people adopt a beach and over time.
So this is typical of what the beach looks like in high season. We call it high season.
That means we're not high, but the beach is?
Oh. Speak for yourself. The high season is when the rains come and storms, and the currents change a little bit and the plastic washes up. One of the things that happens is the plastic never goes away. The winds will cover it, so when the rains come, the plastic gets uncovered.
We consider ourselves professional collectors. We have a whole system where we walk along the beach collecting in small bags, and then at the end of the day we gather it all up and make a little trailer and drag it back, sometimes up to 75 pounds or more on a single outing.
Well, the thing about the trailer is that we found it on the beach. And if we find a trailer, then we use it. Otherwise,
we found the guy on the beach too. Yeah. Back at home, it's all washed and then sorted according to color and kind. And in our studio barn, we have boxes of red, blue, green, disposable lighters, combs, etc. So
this was the first piece that we made. We just started gathering the plastic. What happened is, as we had come to this from our separate art practices, my middle son and I had been doing habitat restoration in the seashore right near Kehoe Beach, and we went for a walk on the beach and went, oh my God, look at all this stuff. So we started, we came back with some plastic bags and dragged 7 big garbage bags full of plastic off the beach, and then we were going to throw it away. And so where does it go from there? And we thought, well, we'd keep it. And so when Judith and I met, we had a quantity, but we started collecting plastic, and we started piling up these are all lids from plastic lid tops. And we just started piling them up in concentric circles, and then we thought, oh, we need a trophy from our efforts at the beach, so we made a trophy fish. This was the first piece we made.
We decided then that we would explore the idea of quantity and just to see what 2 people from one beach in 1 year could find. And so we shaped an exhibition. This was out at Gallery Route 1 out in Point Reyes Station. And these tall pyramidal shapes we called bonton, beach bonton, as an homage to the gods and goddesses of the beach. We each had independently been to Bali and had admired the stacks of fruit, the pyramidal stacks of fruit that people would take to the temple for a blessing. So too we created these pyramidal shapes of plastic.
So one of the things that was going on when we did this, this is in 2000, and the information was just starting to come into the public ken that there was this island of plastic floating in the North Pacific, about 1,000, 1,200 miles north of Hawaii. How many people in here know about this island? Yeah, I think it's come into the general knowledge at this point. But when we had the show, we would tell people about this. Charles Moore is the guy who really discovered this, and he was giving this information, and people thought we were just making it up.
So we made a representative gyre or spiral nebula. This nebula is made out of shotgun waddings that are somewhat ubiquitous on the beach because they're very lightweight. These are coming to us down the waterways, down the Sacramento River, and out the bay, down the deltas, and so on, and out into the ocean, and then back up onto the beach.
So the next... This wasn't quite the next show, but we were invited to have an exhibit at the Bay Model in Sausalito, which is the hydrologic model of the San Francisco Bay. And they have an exhibit space there. And we got, Kehoe Beach has some limestone formations which are layered up in strata. And it suddenly struck us, gee, what's going to happen with all this plastic in 10,000 years? Maybe, when some of you who know geology know that a discontinuity is an anomalous layer in the strata, and so we call it the Plasticine discontinuity. And we posited a discovery by an anthropologist and a geologist from the year 12,000 who have come upon this thing, and they're trying to figure out what it is, so we called it the Plasticine discontinuity. I think it's soon to be a major motion picture.
So here's our exhibition at the Bay Model. We had charts and graphs. You can see a series of tubes there. Those were core samples taken from the discontinuity, and we had great fun with this. This is a site that many school field trips come to, so we love posing our work within that scientific context. We also noted that a lot of the items that we find have this very strange glyph or iconography on them, these strange linear motifs. And we thought that this must be part of some kind of religious rite of some kind. And so we decided that it must be a barcode, and so we created lines from the plastic of, we created our own barcode.
So you can see there are lighters. Those black things are tubes used in oyster fisheries. Those pale yellow things are floats from Japanese fishing lines. The whole idea of this is that if you, by showing common objects in their great numbers that we found, it sort of brings attention to what's going on. So there's a line of, you see there's a line of combs. There's a line of tampon applicators. What else is in there? A couple of things of lighters. In that one beach one year, when we found, we said to each other, when we get to 100 lighters, we'll retire. And by the time we had 200 lighters, we thought we'd start a foundation.
As you can tell, we have great fun with spreading the kind of message about beach plastic detritus. This was a small white pickup truck that we covered with just the white, and this is out at the Black Rock Desert at Burning Man Festival. And it gives us a great way of transporting ourselves and spreading the plastic word. The truck now lives in Glen Park. You may see it around. We had a surfer friend bought it, so hopefully it doesn't, all this stuff doesn't fall off and go down the drains and back to the ocean.